It has been far too long since Survivor has been on our screens. It's been a couple of months, and it's been a fun couple of months, obviously, with Survivor Australia, but we are now here to assess the entire cast of Survivor 46, which premieres just 1 week from today. But not only are we assessing the entire cast of Survivor 46, we're also going to be doing our second ever draft. Our lineup of podcasters are going to draft their teams in hopes to become the champion once all this is said and done. We are Survivor Now. I'm Randy Bruce, and let's have a fun night getting ready for next week. I don't know if any of you guys watching can tell this, but I did not rehearse that at all. And I'm going to give myself a solid B+. But again, my name is Randy Bruce. I'll be hosting the festivities this evening. I don't have to worry about drafting. I don't have to worry about picking a winner pick, but I will give you my winner pick at the end of the show to let you guys know who exactly gets the Randy curse this season. And if you want to join us, chat along, let us know what you guys think of the castaways as we talk about them. You can join our Ancient Voices, the live chat. That's what I like to call it. Jay's already in the chat. Ayo, what's up, Jay? You guys can chat along, interact with us all night long. This is supposed to be a fun event where we're just going to be letting you guys know what we think about the castaways while also drafting in this competitive fantasy showdown. But before I start introducing everyone, you guys can join in another fantasy game where you can compete for some top prizes. You can compete for a package from Katie Tedesco Art. You can get a custom pop figure from Todd Herzog. Yeah, the winner of Survivor China. You can also win a cameo from your favorite player of Survivor 46. Go to the link in our Instagram bio and join our Bracketology fantasy competition. It's the second year we've done this, and second season we've done it. Last season, the top 3 finishers got prizes, but this year it's going to be even harder because the only way to get a prize is to be the sole survivor at the end of this, the sole fantasy player, however you want to say. You have to win to get everything, and this is a massive haul you're winning. So if you want to compete, it's a challenge, but make sure to hit that link in our Instagram bio at Survivor Now Podcast to get in. Before I start introducing, let's see. We got Eli. Let's go. Amy, don't curse any of my favorites, Randy. I'm going to try not to. I'm really going to try. And then Jay, glad to see you guys again for another season. We appreciate everything you guys do as fans coming on and joining us. So without further ado, we got a long night ahead. We got a lot of picks to get through. I'm going to introduce our first analyst who will be joining us this season. And there's some analysts who can't make it tonight, but this guy has been putting in the work covering Survivor AU Titans versus Rebels. He's the head of Got Something For You. He finished second in last year's fantasy competition that we did. Everybody, please welcome Matthew. Matthew, how are we doing?
Hello, everyone. I am dreading this. I came so close to winning last year that I'm like, I need the win this year. My strategy worked out pretty well.
Do you have the same strategy? How prepared are you for the draft tonight? Are you ready?
Those of you who watched last year know that I did not prepare one bit, but I ended up picking the winner first. I was the first to pick a castaway, and I picked D as my first pick. So I think that that's like pretty cool. But I really thought I need you to explain the point system again, because I don't know how I lost, but I guess that's just the magical power of Abraham. He did so well. My strategy this year is the exact same. I have like a group of castaways that I'm going to pick from, and no one else better take them. Otherwise, I'm not going to know what to say.
Well, I am the person who kind of makes the rules. And I got your argument last season. For those of you who don't know, Matthew was like, I picked the winner. How did I not win?
Yeah.
So you're not going to win for picking the winner, but you
Okay.
will get an additional 50 points if you get the winner. So this could literally make or break it for some.
100.
100. I got it. Okay, we'll talk about it. We'll talk
Okay.
about it. All right, throughout the show. Matthew, what are you drinking tonight? This is a fun question we always ask. What are you?
Glad you asked. It's water.
Oh my gosh.
Cheers.
Okay, 2 for that. Cheers for our water. Mine's in like a tiki glass at least. So I'm in
Oh,
the
that's
trying to get in
nice.
the survivor mood. All right, for the next person we are introducing. This is a guy who he needs some redemption after last season. We all know if you paid attention to the scores, this guy had probably the worst season we're ever going to have in this competition.
So sad.
He is one half of Survivor Stockwatch. He's been an original. Let's get Will in here. Will, how are you doing, man?
I'm a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I dropped the ball last season. I put all my eggs in the Lulu basket, and I was kind of a genius for drafting the only 2 quitters of the season. That's kind of amazing. But no, hello. How's everyone doing? I do the Stock Watch. Very good show. A lot of banter between me and Jack. We talk about the edits, a lot of nerd stuff. We talk about why characters are important. And we rank all the characters after each episode about like who we think is going to win, who's going to lose. Last season, after a certain boot, it was looking pretty one-dimensional. So hopefully Survivor 46 brings us more crazy moments. You know.
Yeah,
How did you get so lucky?
I don't know, man.
And what are we drinking, Will? What are we drinking? I see it.
Baja Blast Mountain Dew, because this draft is going to be a blast.
Oh my gosh, and you guys can catch Survivor Stockwatch on Fridays, I believe, for this season. Tune into our Instagram. If there's a change in time, we will let you know. You'll have the full schedule next week. Will, really quickly, before we introduce our next person, how prepared are you for tonight? Did you look at these castaways?
I glanced at them as we were setting up for the podcast. I have 6 people that I feel decent about, so I'm at least getting one of the 6 as my first pick. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm a student, so I kind of cram last second. You know?
I respect that, and
yeah.
you can only go up from here, Will. After last season, believe me, you can only go up. Next up, we have a colleagues of Matthew's a lot that he runs Got Something For You with Matthew, and he did almost as bad as Will last season. So he's also trying to go for redemption from across the pond. Ollie himself. Ollie, what is that face for? You know it's true. You were second.
I had a lovely time.
You were second to last.
I sat there and had a lovely time. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, Ollie, okay, you've got I'm guessing that's tea. You've got your usual tea, but what else are you drinking? Because you told us beforehand you've got 2
Some
drinks
juice.
on it.
If there's anyone that watches me, they always know I start off with a tea and then finish with juice. So.
Oh, the little podcasting secret. Ollie, I didn't give Matthew a chance earlier to tell fans what they can expect from Got Something For You this season. So just give us a very quick, what can fans expect when they tune into you guys?
I mean, we will always just be talking about the episode, talking about kind of the narratives we see, the journeys we see for the castaways. We are normally about 90% wrong, but we enjoy doing it. And we just have fun. It is always a good time at Got Something For You.
Oh, and also, Ollie, let everyone know what time it is for you in the UK right now.
It is 1 a.m. So just saying the commitment is here.
Yep.
If anything, I have commitment issues.
the commitment is here. Oh my gosh. And then finally, Ollie, how much did you prepare for this season and with the castaways?
Do you know what? I deep dived. I looked and analyzed every single intro video. I looked at all of their records.
Okay.
No, I didn't. I'm going off of who I like. So.
Oh my gosh. Usual Ollie picking method. I love that. And then, so you've seen these faces before. These are people who competed in the fantasy competition last year. But now we have a wild card pick because we have a new analyst coming in looking to take the prize for herself. She will be joining Tegwith on Survivor Social this season. Everybody, please welcome to the team, Kara. She is here. Hello, Kara. Hello.
Hi. Hi, guys.
Oh my.
Hi.
It has been, I've been looking forward to actually getting you on the show. This is your first official podcast. So how excited are you to come on here and chat about Survivor? Like, where did your love of Survivor come from?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to talk about Survivor. My brother got me into it, and he's one of like the only people I have to talk about it with. And so I'm so happy to have all of you guys now to talk about it
Yeah.
Until we talk so much that she's like, oh my gosh, these people are crazy. Let's see. We got a few people in the chat. Eli, let's go. Kara. We got Mr. Pokey Guy. Hey, Kara. She is going to be very popular this season. And Kara, I know you haven't worked with Tegwith yet and Survivor Social, so I'm not going to ask you that question in terms of like what to expect on that show. But I will ask you, who is your favorite castaway that you've seen in Survivor? Like, who do you really love watching?
Ooh. My favorites have been, I love David Wright. He was always my fave. And King George, of course. Love him.
Oh, I mean, King George is such an iconic character. And I love that you watch Survivor Australia. I mean, shout out if anyone is not watching Titans versus Rebels, definitely go check that out. Jay says she's going to say Caroline or Carolyn. No? I mean,
I did like her. She was great. She was great.
Because of Kara?
Yeah, maybe because the names are similar. And Kara, the final question that we have to ask you is, how much prep did you do getting ready for this draft? Did you come prepared to take the prize off of our champion?
I think I am well prepared. I watched a bunch of videos, a bunch of interviews, read some interviews. So I am prepped. I have my notes. I'm ready to go.
Nice.
I'm happy that someone actually put effort into this. I'm looking at you, Ollie, Matthew, and Will.
I have notes.
You said you
picked
did.
the winner last year.
I have notes. Thank you very much. I'm not going to show them because they
I
weren't
got my notes
mine.
right here.
But,
Okay, now everyone did their homework, is what people are saying. Like everyone's like, "Oh, I can't
hold on,
prepare."
hold on.
Randy,
Let's
have you ever-
clarify.
Randy, have you
Someone
ever done
else
your-
did the homework, and we just took credit.
No, but Randy, you ever do the homework as the teacher was collecting the homework? Like, you remember that in school? That's what I did.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fair. Sometimes it works, but there's no
It works all
cheating
the
in this.
time.
And then finally, Phil will be joining us a little bit later once he is available, hopefully. But we have to introduce one last person, and that is last year's champion. He's a Survivor player himself. He likes to talk a lot of smack. He's not planning on giving up his crown. Everybody from season 41, welcome,
You know this.
Abraham.
Who's getting in second this year? Who's coming in second?
Wait, well,
Hey,
I
I
also
want that,
forgot to ask. I also forgot to ask Kara. Kara, what are you drinking tonight?
Oh, I have a seltzer. May or may not be a spiked seltzer.
Oh my
May
gosh.
or may not.
She came prepared. She's
Thank
like my first podcast. I have to make sure I can get through this. So she brought a spiked drink. Abraham, how about you? What are you drinking tonight, Abraham?
man, I'm drinking some water. I just came straight from working out.
Oh, okay. And he's got this
Kind of water.
the classic, the retro Survivor Now shirt on. And Abraham, last year you killed it. You had Austin and Drew, which was like a fantasy dream. They got you so many points last year. How prepared are you for this draft?
Let me help Matthew out. That's why Matthew didn't win. He only had one person, but as we go through, Will,
Julie was on my tribe too.
Will, that's why you just lost.
Picking someone your own
If we're
side,
gonna
dude.
throw shade, I liked Matthew's team more than
Sarah,
yours.
all you got to do is be better than Will, and you are success in this.
I mean,
Don't
that
be
is
better
true.
than Will.
Good to see you too, Abe. Been a second.
Always, man. I'm looking forward to the draft, man. I see there's some great players. It's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of personalities, a lot of different personalities this season. So it's going to be interesting to see how they either mesh or don't mesh.
No, that's a good thing. And before I give everyone the draft rules and we get into actually starting the pick players and such, does anyone have anything to say in particular about the people that we've seen this season? Because the cast photo, when that dropped, it was a gorgeous cast photo. I think I can go ahead and put it up here for everybody. It's
There it
like it's almost like a retro feel. Oh my gosh. Wait, hold on. This is like perfect timing. This is perfect timing. We got to get Phil in. Perfect.
What's up, man?
Yeah.
First
Phil.
off, I apologize for my tardiness here. I live over in Los Angeles. It was very hard to get off from work ahead of 5 p.m., but I'm here. I'm accounted for. And this is exciting. I'd like to introduce myself as your worst nightmare, friend. Suppose.
This-
We're on.
No, this is perfect timing. He just didn't like that I said I was going to introduce Abraham last. And he's like, nah, I'm not doing this. I want to be introduced last. And it was literally perfect. Phil, just a couple of quick questions for you. What
Sure.
are you drinking tonight? This has been like our icebreaker. What are you drinking?
Huh. Well, look, in this sort of dash to get on the line here, I really don't have anything outside of just like some water sort of set up for me. So I'm keeping it chill with water. Does anyone have anything interesting? Okay, I see a little Mountain Dew. I see some tea
Bob last.
from our friend Ali. What do we got, Abe? You got anything special?
Abe's got
I-
the smallest bottle of water I've ever seen in my entire life.
There we
Yeah,
go.
he's
Not
drinking.
prepared.
Well, Kara, hold on. You probably win when it comes to who's drinking the best stuff.
What do we got?
I have a
Spike
spike
water.
seltzer.
There we go.
Confirmed. It is a spike
Yep.
seltzer.
Oh, she
Confirmed.
did confirm.
Put
She
her
did
out.
confirm that.
Confirmed.
Confirmed.
But we were just getting perfect time, Phil, and we were just getting to talking about this cast photo, how it's very retro. I don't know why it almost feels like a 30s, like early 30s, maybe late 20s cast photo. I'm just gonna pick on people here. Ollie, I'll go to you. What was your first thought when it came to this cast photo?
I knew you were going to pick on me. No, I do you know what? The outfits are serving. And you can hear more of that when we probably do Spark and Snuff. Got something for you. Good plug there. No, but I'm really intrigued by this cast. I wasn't sure at first, and then once I kind of got to see the interviews and stuff, I was very excited. I think Abe said it best. There's a lot of personality.
And I think I have to go to Kara because I believe from what it sounded like, she did the most research, looking at the interviews, reading it up. Kara, what do we think about this cast? Because casting has been such a forefront for CBS lately. They have been, I mean, we have been getting some incredible casts, looking back at 45, looking at 44, and like the Tika trio. And what do you think about this cast from what you've been seeing?
I think there's a lot of characters. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch them. Just from their interviews, a lot of them seem like a lot of fun.
I had just a few nitpicky stuff when I was listening and watching the interviews. Most of the cast said they didn't start watching Survivor until the pandemic, which just blows my mind. Almost all of them said that. And then a lot of people, when asking like who they see themselves, who they compare themselves to, a ton of them said Carolyn, like a lot. It was Carolyn, Marianne, and that kind of opened my eyes too. So we might be in for a very wild and fun cast this year. Okay, enough of the talking. I know everyone's ready to actually get to the picks. So this is how the draft is going to work. Hopefully everyone can see this. I'm going to be spinning this wheel. We'll do this as quickly as possible. And if a name comes up, for example, Phil, his name comes up, Phil can pick where he drafts at. So basically, he can pick, this is a snake draft. So Phil can choose to pick first, but he will have the last pick of the second round, or he can pick, or he can choose to pick last in the first round and have back-to-back picks. So it's a snake draft. There's some strategy that goes into this. So let's go ahead and get into it. I don't want to waste any more time. We're going to spin the wheel, see who we get. Oh, and the champion will get first
Ray.
pick. Abraham gets to choose where
You know,
he
sometimes
picks. So
you gotta take a
Abraham,
moment. You gotta take a moment in time and take these times and whatnot. I'm picking first. Look,
oh my
Bold.
God.
let's pick last. I don't
Okay.
know.
Okay, Abraham, wait, why are you picking first? Because you're going to choose last in the second round.
Look, it doesn't make a difference. I already know who half the people are picking anyway. So what difference does it make? I might as well get my
All
pick
right.
out the way. Nobody's going to see my pick coming.
He's confident that he has the winner of this season. Let's go back, spin the wheel. Let's see who's next. All right, and it's last year's last place finisher. Will, you get the you get to choose next. What are you picking?
Unlike Abe, who's picking first for ego, I'm picking fourth. I think with a snake draft, I think fourth pick is very respectable. It's not too late, not too early. Good balance.
All right, and we'll go ahead and put these people in order. So Abe's picking first, so we'll put him up there. Next up, I just have a feeling that, I don't know, our newbie's going to get unlucky and have to get whatever's left. And Kara, Matthew, you get to choose next.
Put me third. I think that's a nice little position.
All right,
Kara.
so Matthew's going to go third.
Kara, jump up to number 2. Don't mess with these. They playing.
Phil, you get the next choice. You've got second, fifth, or sixth.
You know, Randy, throw me in sixth. I want that back-to-back.
Oh,
That's
I want my pick of two. My pick of two. I'm comfortable in sixth.
Phil lose last year?
oh, I like it.
I thought the
No,
mic was
Phil
muted. My bad. I thought the mic was
Fourth
muted. I thought the mic was muted.
Ollie, oh, I knew it. It's rigged. Ollie, what do you wanna
As
do?
an absolute gentleman that I am, no shade, Abe, but I'm going to let Kara pick her spot. Kara can pick the spot that she wants. I'm being nice.
I was gonna do that, Kara. I just forgot.
Yeah, I was going to do that too.
Hey, they lying because they know they lying.
So you have second or fifth, Kara, when it comes down to it.
I'll stay in fifth.
Ooh, okay.
That's what always in second.
And then Ollie is going to be in second. So we have our draft order. Where you see people on the screen, it's going to be very easy to keep track. So Abraham's choosing first, then Ollie second, Matthew's going third, Will, Kara, and then Phil. So let's get right into this. And how we'll do this, because obviously we have 18 people to talk about. We don't want to be here for 2-3 hours. So when someone makes their pick, go ahead and tell us why you picked that person, and then I'll pick 1 or 2 people to kind of add to what we expect from that person this season and to keep things moving. So, Abraham, go ahead and say you wanted the first pick. Who is going to be the first overall pick in this draft? Who do you have confidence in is going to win?
I'm picking Ben first.
Oh, it's fun.
Wow. Okay, so picking Ben. Yeah,
Great
tell us why
personality.
Ben.
Great personality, great history. And I met him in person. So, yeah, Ben's my man. I think
Okay.
Ben will be able to navigate because he's already navigated a lot of stuff in the music industry. I think it's a great combination for Survivor.
Okay, Will, what can we
Yeah.
expect from Ben this season? Because he just seems like a very energetic person. He seems like he's going to be really fun.
So going just off first impression, I feel like he's going to be someone a little more out there. I think kind of like how Cody was in 43, right? The fact that he had his own label and threw it away because, didn't like himself and despite the success. I think he's more personality centric. I think this whole season is going to be like another Gabon low key. And I think Ben will either make it far and be a really huge personality and have a huge cascading effect, or goes out very early and just not being able to make enough bonds early on. But it's a good pick.
Ben says that he loves Carolyn, Christian Hubicki,
Mhm.
obviously Cody are players that he looks at. My question for Ben is, will he be too much for his fellow castaways? This is a loud personality. I think this is someone that, not saying that he's too much or anything, but when you're out there on the island, you're not getting a lot of food, you're not getting a lot of sleep. Is this going to be someone who's a little too energetic, rubs you the wrong way early on in the game? And I think if maybe he can,
Marianne Winter.
Ronnie's saying right here, Ben pre-merge. Yeah, let us know in the chat, guys, where you think Ben. Phil, you had a strong reaction. Anything to say about Ben?
I do have something to say about Ben. I am not certain how he's going to do. And I think that is why, in my eyes, I've completely left him off my lists. You go into some seasons and you go, oh, okay, this person's going to do great. I can expect this person to maybe not do so great. Ben is someone that I genuinely, I really have I think he has like maybe some of the highest variance of any certain person on this cast. So I'm excited to see him out there for sure. But I was not going to be putting my token on it this time around.
Wait a minute, hold on. Didn't Phil? Did you play last season?
Yeah,
Oh, you did.
Mr. Abraham, let me let
Yeah,
you
my
know
bad.
right now, my friend.
It's good to see. It's good to see you, Phil. It's good to see you, Phil.
too, Abraham. It's good to see you too.
Oh my gosh, you're just giving him fuel, Abraham. Well, we got to get to Ollie for the next pick. Ollie, who are we thinking for your pick?
I mean, you know me, Randy. I do very extensive things here. I just pick the people I like. There's no other reasons except I like them. I have this all my thing. My favorite person after kind of watching stuff, and I'm so glad I at least get to pick her, because I feel like my other picks will probably get taken before I can choose again. So I'm going with Kenzie.
Kenzie. Okay, let me see if I can pull Kenzie up. Why Kenzie?
I just loved her energy. She just seemed like really bubbly, and I was just here for it. I mean, just look at the cast photo that she's giving. But also she did, like, they do these interviews and it was like unpopular opinions. And I can't remember what it was now, but I just remember really having a nice reaction to her unpopular opinion. So I was like, I kind of stan her. So that's why I'm picking Kenzie.
I mean, I love the pick. She's a wonderful personality. She's got an amazing smile. Mr. Pokey Guy here says, yes, Kenzie. Kara, what do we think about this pickup of Kenzie for Ollie? Like, are we expecting her to go far this season? What are we thinking?
I think it was a good pick. She's a hairdresser, so she's social. She can make conversation. I think she can get people to trust her. So I think that was a good pick.
I think it's solid. Oh, Ollie.
No, I was going to say, side note, my mum's also a hairdresser, so clearly that's why I did it. That's why.
I mean, a hairdresser won last season. Dee herself is a hairstylist. Goes on to
Isn't
win.
Yam Yam as well?
I think he is. Are back to back hairdressers, hairstylists, however you want to say it?
I don't think
Abraham-
he was a hairdresser.
Abraham, what made you not choose Kenzie over Ben? Like, what do you think about this pick?
I got 2 years running of winning. I mean,
2
He avoids
Still,
the
I'm
Hey,
doing.
don't make me read you.
I know
Don't make
I'm
me
doing.
read you for my pick.
Ollie, we haven't seen each other in months.
Matthew, you have the next pick. So Ben's off the board. Kenzie is off the board. Who are you taking, Mr. I chose the winner last year?
I am taking Hunter off the board. Honestly, he just reminded me of a teacher that I really liked, and that's why I wanted him on my draft. So Hunter is going to be my first pick. He has a good energy. To be completely honest, I'm not sure how far he's going to make it, but I just like listening to his interview. And again, I didn't do my homework, but I just like, I just pick what I feel is correct. So I'm going with Hunter. He said something. I'm trying to think of the exact quote, but I liked it because he sort of explained like a difference between the old era of Survivor and the new era of Survivor. And I was like, okay, so he gets the game. He also explained how he used Tyson as an example. And he was like, when I first started watching the show, he did not like Tyson. But then as he learned the game, he like understood what Tyson was doing and kind of started liking him as a player. And I was like, you know what? That shows that your idea of the game has changed over time. And I think that is a really good sign for a student of the game.
Does anyone else think that he looks like the second coming of a former Survivor winner?
Brian
Does anyone?
Heidick.
Yes, Will, and I was going to go to you next for this.
Yeah.
What do you think about Hunter? What can we expect from Hunter this season?
Yeah, he looks like a friendlier Brian Heidick. Brian Heidick was a bit of a sociopath in his go. I think Hunter would be a pretty good social player. Only problem is, can he manage that? I feel like he can be someone very early on where people get big move-itis, kind of like how Lulu were last season when they tried to take out Caleb because he was a big threat. I feel like Hunter could fill in that same mold, and that's my big fear with Hunter. But I think if he can just get past that, who knows?
Jay, he
I-
hosts his
Ollie.
own version of Survivor? That's cool.
Yeah, in his school.
Phil, that's awesome.
wow.
All right, never mind. He's the winner.
Ollie, did you like my Brian shout out? You looked you looked like you didn't think of that before.
As soon as you said that, I looked at him and I went, oh. Because I got the resemblance and I was like, oh.
Oh.
Could have looked like a worse winner. That's all I'll say.
Oh my gosh. So next up, Will, it is actually time for your pick. Who are we thinking here? I mean, you've got a lot to prove.
Please
you
don't
chose
quit.
two
Please don't
Come
winners.
on, Will.
Please don't quit. Please don't quit.
So I had my list, and then I realized I'm getting cold feet with some of these picks. So I think I'm gonna pick Q, Quintavious. I don't know. I
Good
think
pick.
because here's the thing, right? When we talk about more eccentric personalities, I feel like this is definitely the cast to be more out there. To be your Carolyn 2.0, because when you're on a cast with other Carolyn 2.0s, you can kind of hide better. And that's my logic going into the season. Same thing with what was it, Kenzie earlier? We had that fear where she would be too eccentric, or Ben. I don't know, but I think Q. I just get good vibes. I didn't do research.
No, okay. Does anyone disagree with me in the fact that when I saw Q's interview, I feel like this is someone who could struggle in terms of his social game. I don't know what it was, but I'm just a little worried about him making those connections early on in this game, especially the new era where you have no place to hide, you have no time really. I'm worried for Q if his tribe, the Yanu tribe, is the first tribe to go to tribal council. I'm worried that maybe it might take him a little bit longer to make those social connections. Phil, I'll go to you first. What are we thinking about Q here?
Well, Q is very high up on my list. So, from a Phil to a Will, I'm happy that you got such a great choice. I immediately was a little bit jealous that you got your hands on Mr. Q. I gotta be honest, I see him being long for the game. And I think that the start of it is just simply the fact that he's a real estate agent. So I assume that he is pretty social. He knows how to talk to people, knows how to sell a home, right? He's very athletic. You can see that on his body.
Former football player.
Played at Ole Miss, right? And that is my third sort of, I guess, reasoning why I think he's going to do so well. There is, he's not the only person here from Mississippi. And they both talked about in their preseason interviews that they noticed one another. And I think that if they both get to a point in the game where they can be together and work together, I think that they're going to be a deadly combo. So
Yeah.
Kudos to you, Will. I think that was a fantastic pick.
But here's the thing, Phil, about that. I just want to say he also did say something. Q said something along the lines of he wants to go to the end with the other person. But he said that even if he thinks that person could beat him, he's still taking that person to the end, which I was like, oh no. I really like him. And
did someone say Q or did someone say woo? I can't really tell. Forget it. It's probably nothing.
I absolutely love. I mean, this guy. The last thing I'll say about Q, he's been playing Survivor his entire life. He is one of 17 children. I mean, I just know that. Yeah, I just know me and my brother. I've got one sibling, and that's enough for me. As 17, that is insane. Let's see, Amy just joined the chat. Between the athletic background and the real estate, he should have good skills. So let's see. It could be a solid pick for Will as long as the dude doesn't quit. I mean, he's in the right direction. And now it is time for the newbie in the competition. Kara, it is your pick. You've kind of seen where everyone's going with this. Is your like first pick still on the board? The person you wanted right off the bat?
Yeah, I was actually torn between two people to pick first, and I think after hearing everyone, I think I'm going with Jelinski. I'm a little iffy on it, but I'm confident in him, so I'm all in on that.
Yeah, what drew you to him?
I feel like he just knows the game. I feel like he'll know what he's doing. I feel like he has experience with it. I enjoyed his interview where he talked about being a Big Brother fan because I'm a Big Brother fan. So that resonated with me.
Wait, did you pick David because the hair is on point? Like, come on, can we just, the hair is style in there.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I could kind of see it. Abraham, what did we think? You were shuffling your papers there, so I have to go to you because you were probably trying to find where
Look.
David was.
In some of the bios, they let the friends. I don't know why they post up what their friends said about him. They say he never wants to lose an argument. And in the game of Survivor, you got to say no sometimes. You got to be like, you got to be able to sit back and say, just let it come to me versus just staying in it. It's just that I don't see him being able to get out of his own way. The only way he can do good in this game if he can get out of his own way, because his friends were like, I would say that Dave Hilinski thinks he's know everything. That's not going to work in Survivor. You got to pretend like you don't know a lot of stuff when you actually do. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see how he jives. But Kira's new. As long as he do better than somebody quitting, solid season. Well, that's not a shot for you, guy, because you didn't know who was going to quit. True. But as long as they don't quit.
Matthew, from one guy with glorious hair to another, I'm talking about David, not myself. Don't look at this. But what I'm saying is, what's your take on David for Kara here, this selection?
I think David is tall.
All right.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I didn't look at David.
I mean,
That's what we call a yikes.
Yeah.
Is that a lead-in? Was that a lead-in?
I
When
was
I
waiting.
He definitely seems like a character. So I feel like in terms of, I feel like we might see a lot from him, or we might see a little from. I feel like I'm saying a whole lot of nothing here. Just being real.
It's 21, so that's we'll see.
Here, I'll let Jay help you out a bit. I struggle to see how he'll fit in on his original tribe, given how young he is compared to the older members of the tribe. So a very good take there. We are at the final pick of the first round. Phil, who is your guy still there, or did your guy get taken, or girl, early on in this draft?
Nope, they're still there. They're at the top, sitting pretty. That person would be Mr. Tim Spicer. That is my number one pick. I think Tim Spicer is going to do fantastic in this game this season. Truly.
All right.
I mean, okay, Will, you have a little chuckle. What do you not like about Phil's pick here with Tim?
I don't know. I feel like I look at Tim. I just feel like he's going to be like next Roxroy. You know, he gets in the game and he's just kind of clueless. Doesn't really know what's going on. Gets voted out like early merge because the tribe wins all the challenges. And that's just that. I feel like, I don't know why. Or like Sifu, the Roxroy before Sifu. I feel like Tim is just like, I don't know. I don't see a game player in Tim. I just see a person.
Well,
trash. Your guy, Phil, he was like basically just, your guy's trash. I'm like,
pretty.
Well, look, if evidence and sort of like pretense serves, right? Why would I care about what Will thinks about myself?
Honestly, so true.
I mean, come on. That's like going out and being like, wow, this goat said I looked really strange in this outfit. I ought to change. That's an animal. I don't care what they think.
I'm a goat.
I will say, Phil, Tim was on like my list at one point. So I feel like Tim, I just really liked his interview too, from what I saw of it. And like, he could do really well.
I think he's a really nice guy. I think he's going to come off as one of those likable people that give you that extra energy and gives you that push, which is almost a double-edged sword, because you don't want to have the, like Mama J she was that glue and everybody still wanted to vote her out. So I think, to me, Tim falls in that. I think Tim is going to be, also, he's from Hotlanta. So I got to go with the Hotlanta crew. I ain't going against. So it's going to be kind of interesting.
I love how Matthew had nothing to say about David, but then Tim comes up and he's like, now let me tell you about Tim and what I think about Tim here. Couple things about Tim is he seems like a really chill dude. He also says that he's been swimming his entire life. That could really help him out in terms of these challenges. He compared himself to Jeremy, Wendell. He wants to find more idols than Tony and be memorable to get brought back. He said he knows that they're probably doing something for season 50 and he wants to make a name for himself. I hope he goes out there and succeeds, but I hope it doesn't get to the point where he's trying to do too much just for the form of entertainment, and it comes back to bite him in the butt. Phil, I'm going right back to you for round 2. You get back-to-back picks here. This was your strategy. So who's the next person you had in mind?
You got it. This is exactly why I wanted 6th, Randy. But really quick, if we can just pull up Mr. J.E.'s latest message. He has a very chill, laid-back vibe. That right there, I don't feel like I really explained myself too much. That is why I have such high hopes for Tim Spicer.
Mm-hmm.
He's ultimately a huge leader in his community, but he does not come across as this dictator-esque type of person. He seems like he has a real chill vibe. I don't think people are going to really read it on him. People are not going to smell it on him without having the detailed bio that we have on the outside. So I really hope that he can keep his leadership under wraps, sort of come out looking like he's just, I'm a pretty slow talk and I'm a chill guy from Atlanta, and no one's going to be the wiser. Now, my next pick here. This is where we start to get to territory of people that sort of got taken. However, I still have some people up here that I'm really, really excited about, and I'm kind of playing the game now, realizing that this is my last choice until the last choice in the game. If I don't have it. So this is a big deal here. Give me Jim. Give me Jim.
Oh, let me find Jim here.
Who is Jim?
Here we go. We've got our lovely Jim here. I have such high hopes for Jim. I mean, not only is she, same thing, she is like this big leader in her personal life. I believe that she is like a pretty high up salesperson with Victoria's Secret, which, same thing, I think that is sort of a brand in itself where you've got to be like very likable. She's probably used to being around a lot of people that might be very intimidating. I mean, Victoria's Secret, I imagine there are a lot of like models around her, and she has to come to each person with the same sort of vibe. Like, hey, I'm making decisions here. Like, let's work together. And I think that she can sort of take some of those skill sets that she uses in her day-to-day life and bring it into Survivor and sort of crush. Not to mention, she seems very, very smart. She's very used to this environment. She talks about the fact that she sort of her childhood, her early sort of development was around like environments closer to this than maybe like a major city. And so, yeah, I'm really excited to see how she's going to do.
I mean, the thing that I want to add about Jim, I think it could be a really good pick. I found this interesting, and Kara, I'm going to go to you here to see what you think about this pick here. And I don't know if you saw this in our interview as well. She said that her and Nasir, she looks up to Nasir as a player because they have very, very similar backgrounds in the sense that they grew up similar. Their lives kind of played out similar. But she says something that she's not planning on doing out on the island is she does not plan on being the provider. She doesn't want to be looked at as the provider because she feels a lot of times those people are players in the game. You know, they're used until around that merge area, and then they're cut out because we don't need you anymore. We've got fishing gear and whatnot. So, and this was something that really stuck out in the interview. She was asked about that. You can do it, but you're just not going to. And she's like, I don't want that perception of providing for the tribe. That's a lot of pressure. It puts a target on my back. Kara, anything to add on here about Phil's take here and Jim?
I think that was a good pick. I also had her on my list. I think she'll be great. And I think not wanting to be the provider, I think that's a good strategy going in.
Yeah, I think it could really help her out. Ollie, you said you had her, you had her on your list as well.
Yeah, she was like 3rd or 4th. I was rooting for her.
Well, we'll have to see how she does this season. And then, so yeah, Phil, you don't have another pick until that. You won't have another pick. You're going to get left over or whatever. But that was the gentleman thing to do. Give up, or no, you were going to.
It was Ollie.
Yeah, it was Ollie. Never mind. I got nothing.
It was also me. We
Phil was going to.
Oh, yeah, Phil.
I've got go back to camp, Phil. I've got nothing for you. Kara, so you have the next pick in the second round. This is also a big pick for you because much like Phil, you will have a choice between 2 people, but this is going to be kind of the last one that you have control over here.
Right.
The pressure zone.
Yep.
Okay, the name is standing out to me. Her interview stood out to me, so I'm gonna go with Venus. I think she'll be a strong personality. Might not be the best thing, but I think she's confident. She knows what she's doing. she'll be able to read people well. She plays poker. I read. I think she'll be great. Maybe she'll be like another D.
Ooh, I love that connection. By the way, before I go to someone to hear more about Venus, Abraham always gives me crap. Everyone does, because I pick on the older castaways and say that they're not going to do too well. I've yet to see an older castaway taken off the board. I'm just saying. I don't think it's just me here. Let's go to Abraham. Abraham, what do you think about this pickup here of V or Venus? What do you think?
Venus has a good story. I mean, good background, good story. Parents coming over, and she understands the struggle. I think she's going to get in there, and I think she's going to fit in and not force the issue. I think she's going to be able to do the things she can do, and then I think she's going to be able to talk the walk. And then we're going to probably see some good gameplay out of her. I'd look to see her really strategize in the game of Survivor this season as one of the best strategists that's going to be out there this season. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see how she actually materializes. But she has a good background story. Looking forward to seeing her play. It's going to be kind of interesting to see where she fits in at. Because we already know you don't have to be the most physical person to win Survivor. No. So now we started matching up and see who picks who. We're going to see. But I looked at her tribe. Also, the tribe is going to make a difference on who started losing first. Because the first couple of days is going to be crucial. And from the looks of it, hold on, let me check. Double check. She has a pretty decent tribe. To balance out. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how she plays.
Let's see. Jay in the comments. I like Jim. I did a random draw from. Oh, my bad. I did a random draw for my winner pick this season to prove how random the new era is. But if I did a traditional winner pick, I'd choose Jim or Jess. So she's a good pick, in my opinion. Matthew, do I go to you? Do I go to you next?
I knew you would be nervous to go back to
No, hold on. But before you, I am going to you next. But this is something that really makes Venus interesting for me. A few of the notes that I put down. A newer Survivor fan. She hasn't seen, I don't think she said she's seen every season. She's newer in that sense. The people that she said she relates to or loves: Parvati, Courtney Yates. She wants villains to be back in Survivor. She says, I don't understand why we don't have villains. And this is my personal favorite. She described herself as Regina George.
Yeah.
Which is,
I love it. I love it.
Matthew, after taking all that in and what you know, what do we think about Venus here?
Yeah, the Regina George comparison really stood out to me when I was going through their interviews. I'm really excited to see Venus play. I think it's really hard to feel out how she's going to do this season. I like Jay's point that the new era has been completely random and unpredictable at times, but Venus is someone that going into this season, I'm particularly excited to see.
I think that's a great pick. And with that second pick, Kara has David and Venus thus far. Will, so in round one, you took Q. Who are you taking with your second pick here?
I'm taking Mariah Gaynor because there's two reasons for this, right? First of all, green tribe, winner tribe right there. Green's the best color. I feel like Mariah is going to be kind of like Aubrey Bracco. That's a comparison everyone and their grandma always uses. Everyone wants to be the next Parvati. People want to be the next Reed. People want to be the next Aubrey. I think this is the cast to be a hyperactive, anxious, whatever. And so I think Mariah is lucky to be on this cast. And I feel like she's in a pretty good starting tribe. I feel like the Siga tribe overall is a relatively strong tribe. I don't think they're going to be the next Luvu or the next Reba, but they're going to win some challenges, and so they're not going to be decimated early on. I feel like
Jay said the Green Tribe's going to produce a winner in the new era.
But there's only been like 6 new era seasons, and there's only been like 2 new Green Tribes. So like, cut me some slack here.
Randy just popped it up and I started reading it. I was like, oh, okay.
I know, but I think of the Green Tribe, I feel like Mariah has some of the best odds, unlike like Charlie Davis. Because what is Charlie doing? Get out.
Whoa, where's the Charlie dig coming in here? Okay, we'll get to
saying.
that later.
Charlie catching strays.
Yeah, for no reason. Ollie, do you love Mariah as much as I do? Because when I watched her interview, she was one of the castaways that I circled. There was about 4 castaways that I'm like, yes, 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 them. They're going to be this season. And I am so excited to watch Mariah play. The only question that I had for her is, can she take charge of her own game and run the show? Is she that type of player who is going to be able to control things? And I mean, she's a program coordinator, so maybe that answers my question right there. But what are we thinking about Mariah, Ollie?
Indifferent. No,
You're not gonna back me?
I didn't hate her. I didn't absolutely love her like you did. I feel like she's one of those people for me. I feel like I'm gonna need to kind of see the first couple of episodes to really decide how I feel on her. There's a fair few of them this season that I'm kind of like, I don't know how I feel about you yet. Once I kind of hopefully see that you all get confessionals, I'll be able to kind of gauge how I feel about you. She was one of them for me personally.
Spark or Snuff, the overalls that we see in this.
Oh,
picture.
Spark. But
Okay.
there was someone beforehand though. If we're gonna give anyone, for me, the ultimate Spark, Venus. Like that outfit, that promo outfit. That was one of the only reasons I wanted to draft her was for her outfit.
Can I
was
find?
like,
Can I
She's right
find
at the end.
Venus again? Why
She's
do
right
I
at
not
the end.
remember
She's right at the end.
all
She's
the
right
way
at
at
the
the
end. There she is.
Oh,
And she has like
Okay.
long orange trout. Like, I was here for it.
Ollie's
sorry,
like, I could go all day.
I could go all day.
No, I love that. Matthew, it is now your turn to pick. Who do we have on the board for you?
Okay, interesting. Well, first of all, I have to say, I feel like I let Kara down when we were talking about Jelinski. I forgot he was the dancer, and I feel like if he makes it to the individual portion of the game, that is going to be huge. Having control over your body in that way is going to be amazing for those type of challenges in the final stage. He is also tall. Anyway, going into my next pick, I'm going to go with Jessica. I'm really excited to see Jessica play. Some articles I see she goes by Jess, so I'm gonna switch back and forth. But the thing with Jess is, one, I just really liked her. I mean, listening to her interview, I just thought she seemed super cool and like has a really awesome podcast voice. I'm like, Jess, you want to come join us next year? That'd be great. But also, I think what was the most interesting thing about Jess, one, she says like the biggest risk that she has ever taken, I think she said she quit 2 jobs to start her own thing, which is always a huge risk. And it was really cool to see her she says she succeeded in that. The other thing that she said that I really loved was that she's entering into this game without fear of it. And I find that in Survivor, we see so many castaways go in saying or not being unwilling to make moves because they are afraid of what might happen if they try something. And I just think it's so refreshing to see someone going into the game and just saying whatever is going to happen is going to happen and I'm going to make the best of it. So Jess, I was really excited to get her on my draft and I'm happy she's there.
All right, Abraham, I saw you shaking your head. I saw you shaking your head as well. What are we thinking about Jess here? Because Jess is someone that I had maybe what?
She has a twin sister.
Oh, does she? Oh,
She has a twin sister.
Thanks, Abe.
No, I thought you said, does she have a twin sister? I was like, I don't know.
No, she has a twin sister. I mean, she's gonna be pretty interesting. But for IT folks, I'm always cheering anybody in the IT field on.
No, but she was someone that I thought could be one of the early exits in this game. So, like, are you backing me more or Matthew more when it comes to Jess?
First of all, Matthew came in second last year. You always pick the people get kicked out. So, I'm gonna go with Matthew.
He's got a point.
And then,
I mean, your records are pretty. They show for themselves.
He just is talking smack about everybody. Phil, what do we think? Any closing comments on Jess here? What do we think about this pick for Matt?
Jess is a steal. At this late in the game, Jess is a steal. Funny enough, I brought it up last time when I made my pick. I ultimately ended up going with Jim, but I was between Jess and Jim. I actually think that Jess is going to do fantastic here. In her preseason interview, she's like got a little bit of like snark and jade to her, which I actually
She has
really
some
like.
attitude. Yeah, I put that in my
Yeah.
notes. I said she's got some attitude, which I'm worried about.
And see, for me, I really dig it because I don't think that it's something that I think that. And look, I don't want to, I think that sometimes when you sort of see it on the surface and you look at something, you go, oh my god, they're gonna be a handful, whatever, and then they are. You are, you sort of like you're like, okay, well, I knew all along. That's so annoying, whatever. I think when you sort of look at someone and you're like, oh, they're gonna be like this sweet, whatever, and then they sort of come with like, so like they surprise you. I think that's actually really like refreshing, and I think that people actually really like that. Honestly, shout out you, Jay. I think Emily is a perfect example. I don't think that anyone saw Emily and on the surface was like, oh yeah, she is gonna be like a grind on people. She is gonna be like, oh my gosh, she's gonna be so great. And like at the end of the day, we ended up loving her, and I think it's because like she showed us something that we didn't necessarily expect. And I think that Jess is gonna be that same way. I really hope that she endears herself to her fellow tribe mates.
I love that. Absolutely love it. So next up, Ollie, you took Kenzie round 1. Who are you
Yes.
taking round 2 here?
Can I just say I'm so glad because literally my top 2 picks have not been chosen, so I was very happy.
Wow.
I was sat there literally as soon as I was like, someone's gonna take her, someone's gonna take her. I am grabbing Tiffany because I absolutely love Tiffany. Just kind of similar to Kenzie. The energy was there for
Let me tell you
me.
something. Low
Great
key, you and
choice.
Phil are trash. I messed up my entire game plan.
Yeah.
Abraham, you may have won the drafts, but how did you do on real life Survivor?
Oh,
That's
man.
all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Was that a low key shot?
Low key, Abe,
I
it was a
saw
high
that.
key shot.
I call that a high key shot.
I know.
I know I got some from. I know I got some from
did
Fiji
say
round
if you
here.
try.
I know I got some from Fiji round here somewhere.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me check my
You
Fiji
got the whole
gear.
cast of 41 on
Hold on.
Ollie right
You've got a
now.
logo behind you.
Check
There's
his
a
I mean,
blue.
I mean,
That was
Fiji.
spicy, Ollie. That was spicy.
I mean, Ollie, I'm surprised that you would even test that theory. But next time,
Wait, hold
look,
on. You're surprised by me. I'm the gobby
Hold
one of the
on.
team.
Do I need order? Order. I will have order in this draft room. Do I need to like remove everyone but Ollie and Abraham and just let these two hash it
Yes.
out here?
I think that's making
We
me
have
Instagram.
therapy.
Let me
It's
instigate-
all right. Me and Abe have got therapy coming up.
is that
Oh,
the
my-
cast? Oh, that is the cast of season 41. Hey, I'll tell you what. If you get on another plane and look up the series, guess who series is on the plane now?
Order.
Is it?
Order.
Season 41.
Order.
But wait,
order.
this ain't shade. Just on what airlines? Because I'd love to know that.
Dude, I was on Delta, man, and I was just looking at someone to look for, and I was like, wait a minute. that's season
Yo, Abe,
41.
I can also pull up casts from Survivor. Look at my cast. I can do that too.
Is that the high school prom?
Anyways,
What is,
Okay, I'm
is
gonna
that your
go.
prom
to,
picture?
hey, I'm gonna go to Kara here before she decides
Oh,
what is
okay.
going
Oh, yeah.
on. Kara, what do we think about Tiffany here?
I took my other pick.
Another great pick. I loved her interview. I think she'll be great. Hopefully,
we hope.
Oh.
We hope and pray.
I
I can only
mean,
hope.
she's got a very loud personality. I'm trying to find my Tiffany notes. I should have been looking for them while that whole situation.
And-
I
Yeah,
oh, go
and her
ahead.
being an artist and everything, and like doing something that someone told her she couldn't do, so she's like, "I'm gonna do it." That's
She
great. I think
Went
that's
with
a
her
great.
gut.
Yeah.
She said, like, she's got a loud personality. She's confident, and I love that. She compared herself to Natalie Anderson, who I think is one of the most underrated Survivor players of all time. She also likes Shan. Thought Shan was playing a terrific game until she got a little bit too emotional. That comes from Tiffany, not me. And she even says in her interview, that's what I'm a little worried about because I am also an emotional person. And she looks and hopes that she can kind of reel those emotions in. Will, are we confident on Tiffany to make it far in this game?
I don't know. So I had Tiffany pretty high on my draft, right? At the start I mentioned I had 6 players, so no matter what, I was getting one of my top picks. Tiffany was number 4. And I don't think she is quite possibly the winner pick. I do think she's a good longevity pick. Think Austin, right? I never counted Austin as a winner in 45, but I also thought Austin would have been a really good, he's going to make it far. He's going to find idols, win challenges. I feel like Tiffany has that more on the social side, where I feel like she's going to have a lot of friends, and I think that alone will get her really far. I'm not sure about when it comes to the end game if she can squeak out the win. Maybe she gets a little too emotional. She wants to be a little too loyal. And Jay's mentioning, if you're quiet on Twitter, as we've seen before, that's pretty bad. Unless we're going with the Hannah Rose theory.
I was saying with Hannah, Hannah
Yeah.
last year, and everyone was like, don't look into social media. And I'm like, something's going on if they're not active on social media. Ollie, did you have something to add?
I was just going to say, I feel like people are more active on Instagram than they are Twitter, so that's where I'll go. That will be my rebuttal.
Can we even call it Twitter anymore? Isn't it X now?
Well, oh, that one.
Yeah,
Whatever
who
it's called. That's how much I care about it.
I'm sorry. If anyone didn't know, Kara has her own podcast. It's Kara. I'm going to plug it really fast. Sweet Things podcast. And you guys just talked about the Twitter and X controversy, so that's why it was like in my brain. I was like, I don't know what to call it either. Abraham, you have the last pick of the second round. You picked who you think's going to win. Ben, who you taking in round 2?
I'm taking Brandon. What's that?
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Oh my God. And I'm gonna be honest. Ollie took a pick from me. Phil took a pick from me. I'm about to ask Will who was his fifth.
Randon.
Oh.
Abraham,
Oh well.
Abraham, I do not like your team. I'll say it. I'll get in on this. I don't think Ben or Randon are going to go far in this game, but Abraham, I'd love to hear why Randon. Why is he your second pick?
I heard this wise man named Phil. He said something interesting early in the podcast. I wouldn't have an animal tell me what to wear when they're an animal. You got to be a winner to get on this picking thing. You got to be a winner. Look, see, first of all, I got a shout out to the military. The military guys down in Orlando. I think he's going to have an even balance. I think he's going to be able to balance out the change. Here's the interesting thing. When you get there, you think you're ready until it starts. And then you got to go through a transition period of, wait a minute, this is what real looks like. That's like when we had them quitters last year. They was like, ooh, this burns. This is a hot pot. They was like, I got to get out of here. It's different when you're on the chair. I'm going to admit, when I was on the chair, I talked a lot of trash.
Wait, I'm sorry. What was that sound one more time that you made?
Yeah.
You out of there. But when you get off the chair and you're there and you're in Fiji and you're looking at ants crawl on stuff and you got to try to get some sleep and it's hot, it's muggy, you don't have any fire, it's a whole different ball game. So I think he'll be able to balance that out. And looking at his tribe, I think he can work with people. I think he's going to get with 1 or 2 people. Same instructions from last year. Get with 1 or 2 people and navigate before and after the merge.
Let me get some viewers comments in here. Randon has first boot written all over him. And then and then Amy says Randon said he thought he'd have a hard time socially. That doesn't sound good. And I'm going to go to Will here. Yeah. Will, I mean, for his daughter in the interview literally said that his daughter thinks he's going to be the first one eliminated in the game, and his wife doesn't think he'll make merge. These are 2 people who know this man. What are we thinking about Randon here?
So here's the thing with Randon. I think we forget how luck-based Survivor can be. Survivor is a very lucky competition. And I look at Randon, I could maybe see Hoboken Mike from 42. I think when we saw Mike early game, we kind of chalked him up. I put him in a very similar place as Randon. You know, older player, he's going to stick out like a sore thumb. He won't make it far. But I think if Randon has a good work ethic, I don't think that'll go unnoticed, especially in a tribe like Nami, which I think could be very volatile. I think he could easily slip through the cracks. And I think if he can find one strong ally who's maybe more gamey, you know, finds the Steven to his JT, I don't think Randon will ever win, right? I put him below whoever I said earlier. I forgot who I was talking about. I was talking about someone. Maybe Tim. But I feel like Randon could make it far. I think I said this about everyone last season. Maybe a losing finalist. I don't know. I think if he gets lucky, he makes it far because he's just not a threat.
Matthew, before we take our ad break here, before the final round, any last minute things on Randon that stood out to you?
You always come to me for the people I didn't really research that much, but here's the thing.
I know you didn't. I know you too well. That's the exact reason I went to you.
Oh my God. I will say, it's interesting. I could see a storyline happening where he does make it to the end and he's like, who said he wouldn't make it to the end? His wife and child, they said.
Yes.
Yeah. Like I could see that being a really cool storyline. And I really like what Will had to say about how much of Survivor is luck. I will say, he did stick out to me in terms of the interviews that I did see. He kind of stuck out to me. So we'll see. But I wonder if the idea that he says he himself knows that he might struggle socially, is that going to be enough to prepare him for the island? Or is he going to fall into his old habits? We'll have to watch and find out.
And we're going to leave it on that. We've got one more round of players. There's 6 players left on the board. The players that these podcasters might be questioning a little bit, and maybe that's why they haven't been selected. We will be right back after this short ad break.
Welcome everyone to Expedition Online Season 6.
Hi everyone. Hey Queen's Army.
We've got King George and Queen Sandra.
I'm starstruck right now.
Everybody looks ready? In 3, 2, 1, go!
These questions are hard.
Ooh, Kara gets the first one. Go!
I feel bad throwing out names, so I will gladly go if anyone has any ideas.
Sandra is voting for Amy.
She is.
What about Eli? What if we just blindside his ass?
For you and I, keeping our names at a conversation and then having these quick check-ins.
I feel so stressed. My palms are so sweaty.
Got another twist coming in today.
Holy shit.
Now you gotta switch into game mode. Use your emotions, use who you are.
Take every opportunity.
I promise you, I do not have the compass. Where I don't have it.
Okay, you have a minute. We gotta vote someone. The fact that my name was even in your mouth.
You say something in my web of people, it's coming back to me.
Don't ever be too comfortable in the game.
Glory or death.
To the end.
But most importantly, play to win. And take out King George's faithful soldiers, boo.
Whoa.
Yes, Expedition Online has season 6 right around the corner. Next Monday, King George and Sandra, the queen herself, are going to draft their teams. And wait a minute, someone looked very familiar there.
Is that
Miss Kara is going to be on this season. Kara, give us a quick little rundown. I know, trust me, she's not going to spoil anything. I've been trying to get something from her, and she won't tell me. Give us some tea. Tell us what we can expect this season.
You can expect a lot of twists, turns, blindsides, and just some really good gameplay. And you definitely want to tune in. Plus, Queen Sandra, King George. That alone, I feel like, is something that's going to make you want to watch. So
she won't even tell me what team she's on. And for all of you people out there who don't know what Expedition Online is, it's an online reality game I played back in season 5. Definitely stay on the lookout for applications for future seasons. It is a super, super fun time, and it's all for charity. So make sure to go donate to the pot. You can check out all that information on their social media pages. All right, final round. But before we get to the picking, we got one more thing to do. We got to pick our colors and for our tribes. It was a fun little thing. And I'm going to do it based off how the order you guys joined the live stream tonight. So before we actually went live, sorry, Phil, I'm sorry. So Kara was the first one actually to show up for the pre-gaming or whatever. Kara, what color do you want your tribe to be this season?
Just any color?
Any color, yeah. It can be a normal one, a weird one.
You have to read off a hex code right now.
Go with blue. Go with blue. Blue.
I'll go with pink.
Pink? I gotcha. Okay, I know we're trying to do this quickly, but hot pink or like light pink? What type of pink?
We'll go with the hot pink.
Hot pink. All right. And then I believe it was Will. I believe he was the second. So, Will, are you going green again?
I am going. Jade Green. I'll give you the hex code after we're done. Oh yeah, laugh. Like I'm specific here. All right, but Jade Green, best color. Lock it in.
Jade Green. Okay, he's sticking with his green. Then I believe it was Matthew who joins next. So Matthew, what color are we going with?
I kind of like this background color that I got going on. We're gonna roll with it.
So we'll do like a light blue. Yeah. Sort of light blue.
Phil is like, what color is that? Phil look up in the corner like this, like, is that a color?
Elementary school blue.
Ollie, what color are you going with, Ollie?
I'll just go with my favorite, orange. We'll
Sticking with the orange. You know, none of you are getting superstitious and are like, it didn't work out last year, so we're not going to do it again.
I can't even remember what I picked last year. So,
Phil, I'm going to go you next because Abraham's the champion. He can pick last or whatever. I don't want you to pick last again.
Can you please remind me what everyone else picked? There is,
It's blue, pink, green, orange. It's only 5 of us.
Orange. Give me red.
Red. I like it.
Fiery red. You know
what color were you last year, Phil? I can't. Or you were pink last year.
I think I'm going to take your word for it. I'm going to say it was pink last year.
I think you were pink. And then Abraham, are you sticking with your yellow or are you?
I'm always going to be Yasa yellow, buddy. All the time, every time.
All right. So we got our colors. You guys will see that on the fancy graphic that we have a little bit later on. I got to get some of these messages in really quick. Eli, let's go. He's also on the season, so be on the lookout for him. Chrissy, OMG, is this a mini? It's more than a mini. It's a full game. I played for 3 weeks. Spoiler alert, if you watch my season. That's a lot. The fantasy answer. This has been a great show so far. Really enjoying it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Answer.
Really appreciate that. And then Jay agreed. Eli also says you should go, Phil, with cranberry red.
You know what, Eli? You won me over. I'll do cranberry red. Throw that down. Write down cranberry.
I like that.
Drink? Is that a drink?
Last season, you were just
I'm an easy sell. I'll do it.
You're an easy sell.
What did you say, Will? What color was
last year? He was a lighter green. So I'm
no.
glad he's stepping off the Will West bandwagon.
Oh, Matthew was pink.
Okay.
I was
go right there.
Okay, yeah.
You might have just thought it was me because it was at the top, you know?
I was
Easy mistake. It's okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we still got 6 more picks to make here. Abraham, who is going to be your final pick in this season 46 draft?
Final pick coming in is going to be Maria.
Yeah, right here, Maria. I thought for a second you said Mariah, and I was about to be like, Abraham, she's already been picked. What are we doing here?
Maria.
All right, so Maria, I mean, we're talking about she is someone I'm very excited to watch. I have her being like, I have her as the motherly figure as the tribe. Like, I can tell she is going to care for people just by the way she spoke. She compared herself to Natalie Anderson and Stephanie. She's aware that she's going to be seen as the old person. Joked around that she had her grays covered, but they'll come back out, so she's not going to lie about her age or anything. But she knows that, like, that's something she is going to have to already try to fight. And then the last thing I'll add is this makes me a little nervous. She struggles with lack of control. And we are talking Survivor, where a lot of times you don't have control of your game. Abraham, why are you taking Maria here?
Look at Mama J from last season. You get in when you fit in. You don't have to overdo it. 48 also. 48 is not old. What are we talking about here? 48? So really?
Yeah, 50 is old.
Will, you said that our winner from 43 was gonna lose, and he you said he was almost dead in episode 4. But anyway, and he ends up winning. Have you ever met anyway?
Talking about Gabler.
Gabler.
I know what.
I thought you met Gabler. Anyway. So
I did.
I think she's going to fit in. I think she's going to find that sweet spot, and she's going to play that role. She's definitely going to make it to merge, and I think she's going to have the gift for gab. I think she's going to be able to talk and be able to say, you know what, go ahead and do that. And I think it's going to come down to her and who's my mastermind this season. Where's it at? Where's the name at? Help me out, Ollie. Great. Venus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think she's gonna get with the right people. Same rule of thumb. All you need is 2 or 3 people. That's it. Win Survivor, you need 2 or 3.
You didn't take Venus, so I didn't think you were looking for the name Venus. I figured you'd want Venus on your team if that's who. You know, maybe she wasn't available.
Let me help you out with a little bit of strategy. You got to look at all 3 tribes. That's why I put them at the bottom of the page. You got to look at all 3 of them and be like, somebody about to get drugged in a competition. They might not make it. So all you got to do is make it through your tribe votes and be like, she's not likely to get voted out.
I got a comment here for you from Mateo. I think Maria will surprise people. I see her connecting with,
on the same board.
Tim and Jim. Ollie, I'm going to go to you before you make your pick here. I just feel like Maria is going to be someone that I don't know. Maybe I know you too well as well, and say that I could see you really being fond of Maria. So what do you think about Maria going into this season?
Yeah, no, I think because she gives off that energy that she will be the person that she will be nice to everyone, but if you come for her, she has no issues doing that. So maybe that's why I like her, because I'm very similar.
Maybe like a Denise.
Which one?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
The godmother Denise. We know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think she's not going to be afraid to kind of call people out, but not in a way that it's just detrimental. It's going to be, I feel like she's going to have kind of some logic to it. I feel like that's what the vibe I get from her. There will be some logic if she does ever have to call anyone out.
Well, Ollie, you said in round 2 that your first 2 picks were still on the board. Are your first 3 picks still on?
Okay, yeah. I was like, yeah, no, it was Kenzie and Tiffany. I will say that it was Phil took one with Jem, and then Cara picked Venus, but I still had a fifth. And it was Sedacia. I want to say, I hope I've said her name correctly.
I think she was a Soda as well.
So a Soda.
I wasn't gonna try. I was gonna mess that one up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There we go.
Soda. Yeah. She wasn't as big of a personality, but I feel like she did well. And if anyone has figured out my strategy this draft, the strategy was women.
3 women. I was just about to say Kenzie, Tiffany, and Soda, rounding out your team. Tell us more about Soda, and then tell us about the strategy to go all women for this season.
Because I stan the women this season. No shade to the men. I was very gravitated towards the women this season. I just feel like she said in her thing, like, if I'm honest, like my friends say I'm silly, extra, and nervous at times, but bear with me. And I feel like there's that sense of she knows her flaws. So I think if you're able to know your flaws right off the bat going into Survivor, you can always kind of mitigate and kind of keep an eye on those. And I feel like she's going to be able to take a back seat at the start to kind of get her bearings.
I had Soda as another possible first boo. New Survivor fan. very talkative person. Well, I was going, I'm segueing. Give me a second. I'm segueing over to Phil. I'm segueing over to Phil here. Phil, tell me why I'm wrong in that sense. What can we expect from Soda this season?
Well, personally, I'm not like extraordinarily high on Soda, personally, if I'm being honest. So I might be a bad person to go to. Because that said, I mean, look, I don't see her.
He's like, go to someone else.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't see her as a first boot per se, because she seems like she's social enough. And I know a lot of people, when asked in interviews if there's anyone that they've noticed over during preseason that might be, oh, who do you have your eyes on in preseason that you might want to align with? A few people actually said Soda. So I don't think she's going to be pre-merge, or I don't think she's going to be first boot. I don't know why. I just feel like I wasn't too captivated by her preseason interview. And that has nothing to really say about how she's going to do in the game per se. There are people from last season that I recall I wasn't too high on their interview, and they did fantastic. So I don't actually think she's going to be first boot, but there was nothing that like screamed to me that she's getting to the end or she's going to make this huge impact. And there were quite a few other contestants where I did feel that. So, you know,
let's see. We got Jay here. That's the person who came on top when I did the random draws. So he's rooting for Soda. Really quick, Kara, what side are you on? I mean, I'm kind of low on Soda. Phil is low on Soda. Ollie obviously high on her. Are you more Ollie side or are you with us here?
I'm with Ollie. I am Team Soda. It was between her and David for my first pick. So
first pick.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wait, so why didn't you take her in the second round? Then? Now I have to know this.
I know.
Yeah, hold on.
No, I ain't mad about it.
I don't know. After just hearing everyone else, then I was like, okay, I feel like I need like a stronger personality. So that's why I went with Venus. But I was hoping Soda would still be there on the way back. But
almost. Matthew, it is time for you to make your final selection.
Yes.
Who are we going with here?
Well, first of all, I think there was a question in the chat for Kara about where your podcast is. Is it on YouTube or is it on other streaming services?
It's not on YouTube, but it's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere, any of those podcast websites. You can listen on there.
I was listening to it on Spotify before. It's so good. Anyway, okay.
It's so good.
My
It's so good.
my last pick is my strategy worked. My last pick is going to be Banu. I really liked Banu because here's the thing. I think I love the energy that I was getting from Banu in the interview. But he also said that his favorite castaway is Spencer. And it's so interesting to me because they seem like totally opposite people. But I'm like, if he can take some of Spencer's strategy, but do it in a way that is like specific to himself as to Banu, I feel like he will go really far. So I'm excited for him, and I want to see him do really well. I really liked his energy a lot.
Here's my thing with Banu. Lived in India for 30 years. And then I love the Spencer shout out. That's someone we don't really hear a lot when it comes to shout outs. Fun personality, going to be entertaining. But the question that I had for Banu, is he actually going to be a contender or is he just going to be an entertainer? Which is something we've seen with some of these castaways. Specifically, I look back at Nasir being someone who was just an entertainer. Ollie, I saw you murmur Sifu, just an entertainer. This, I think
Sifu is so much more. If you meet him in person, you'll be like,
hey,
how did you get voted out?
He's an entertainer. That's what we're saying. This is someone that we've been seeing a lot. And I think the one person who stood out was obviously Carolyn. She was like the biggest personality that season, made it far in the game. But we've been seeing this where the person with the biggest personality, you're like, oh my gosh, I want them to be on my screen. And they go out about middle of the season. Will, what are we thinking about Banu here?
I don't know, man. Because there's the thing with Banu, and I felt the same way with Venus earlier, where I think they have the right mind for strategy, like they have the right ideas, but in practice, they don't have the finesse to like pull the moves off. I think Banu could be one of those players who like kind of like the villains in Worlds Apart, where they have like the right ideas, but they keep getting foiled time after time, but they never get voted out. And so they like try to have like these cool strategy plays. And then they don't have the right bonds. They don't have the finesse, and like his ally goes out. I don't know. I'm very low on Banu, but I also think that he could have the storyline of like him improving, like Emily last season, which I'm not personally a huge fan of. I kind of like when villains just stay as villains. They don't need to have a heartwarming tale, you know. So I'm hoping Banu just brings drama.
I don't know, Will. He says he's very adaptable, and he says that people perceive him as adaptable. So that's some points to Banu, in my opinion. I don't know. It's going to be. Well, we'll see. I think, Randy, to your point, what's kind of interesting, because one of my fears was we don't know, and this is why I kind of really do not like doing cast assessments. I love like getting excited for the season, don't get me wrong, but the fact that we just have to like learn about a person's occupation, see a picture of them and be like, they're the winner or they're getting voted out first. I'm like, what's the point? I like seeing the first like 3 episodes to get to know how people are going to do. But like, if I start seeing him sort of getting like the narrator confessionals, it's going to make me a little bit nervous because I want to see from all of the people on my draft, as I'm sure all of you want, I want to see some strategy talk from all of the people on my team in the first couple of episodes.
I got a few comments here. Abraham, I found your answer from Jay about what happened to Sifu. He played too hard, too fast, Abe. And then Joseph also adds in, my winner picks are Hunter, who's on Team Matthew, and Kenzie, who's on Team Ollie. So welcome to the stream, Joseph, if you're just now joining us. Okay, Will, first off, before we get your next pick, Kara and Phil, out of the 3 remaining people, do you know who you want out of the 3 remaining people?
Yes.
Okay,
Kara knows. Phil, are you just whoever's fine?
I'm absolutely not, Randy. Are you joking? No, there is one person that I did not want, and luckily Matthew took him off my hands. So
you're welcome.
Say la vie, Mr. Banu. Not for me. Thank you.
I love that. Will, who are you taking?
All right. So before I pick this guy, I just want to say when I first looked at it, I made the list of my 6. I put this guy number 1. And then I got cold feet. And I'm like, oh no, this guy is not going to make it far. He still hasn't gotten picked yet. So I'm picking up Tevin. It's a bit of a crackpot.
That's a good pick.
Oh,
that's a good pick.
Here's the thing. I think he's going to be a villain. I think so. Right? He seems pretty out there. He seems pretty eccentric. But I know he's, kind, charismatic, and optimistic. But I feel like, I don't know. I get a weird vibe from Tevin, but I think that makes him go far. I feel like he's not going to be someone I immediately root for. But, like, as time goes on, like, think Josh from 44. Remember Josh, how he was kind of a villain for, like...
Do not compare Tevin to Josh. I'm just saying it right now. Tevin was one of the people I love that pick. I put him down. I don't know if he's going to go very far, but I told you earlier that I had like 4 or 5 people that I circled and said instant like favorites. He's one of them. The moment he came on screen, I'm like, yes, give me more Tevin. Like, please. And I'm going to go to Kara here. And Kara, I saw a very big reaction when that pick was made. So I take it Tevin was the person you were holding out for.
Yeah, that was who I was hoping to get at the end there, but it's okay. There's still 2 great people left.
She's like, they're all right. We'll be fine. Phil, are you sad to be missing out on Tevin? What do we think about Tevin? Obviously, very big personality.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is actually so it's a collection of questions here. Was I sad that Tevin got taken from Will? Not necessarily. Out of the 3, he is not who I was sort of looking at the most. However, the truth is, watching Tevin's interviews, Tevin is not what I think people would perceive on the surface. And I'm saying this like as a former thespian. I think a lot of people look at theater people, thespians, and they go, huh. They're all craft, all sort of creativity, and all fun loving, but no brains. Tevin is like exceptionally smart, in my opinion. If you hear him talk about the plays that he's been in, if you hear him talk about the shows, that like his understanding of these shows and sort of like the behind the scenes of like how he gets into his character, what his character is to him, he is like a really, really deep thinker. And so I do think that he's going to last at least a little bit. He also has a gift of gab. So he was not he was not really like high on my list, but he was also not I do not want, which obviously there were a couple people that were. So I'm a little bit high on him, but I'm not necessarily upset that I did not get him.
And I mean, Matthew, I'm pretty sure he does some dance as well. And I'm just saying, wait until those balance challenges. I'm saying it right now. Like, I think he could secretly be good at some challenges. I cannot wait to watch him and see
think-
how he does. Oh,
Yeah,
Abe, you got
Tim is
something
going
to
to
add?
be pretty entertaining. I think he's going to have that energy type personality. The only thing I worry about with Tevin is, can he protect himself from Fiji? It's when everything is good, you're always up and happy. So they had so many different accolades about his personality and who he is. Great guy. I've chatted with him a couple times on Instagram, but being in Fiji and out there in a different element, it's going to be interesting. If he can get past the elements, I think we're going to get a great show out of Tevin this year. It's going to be a great
I also just want to put it out there. I hate this comment, Amy. He's the Australian AU Kelly of season 46. Absolutely no. There is no Kelly. There is no Kelly. Let me just say that. Kara, it is now your final pick. Not only are you deciding how your team ends up, you're also deciding how Phil's team ends up. Who are we down to? Does anyone? I know we still got Charlie still on the board.
Charlie and Liz.
Charlie and Liz. So Kara, who is it going to be?
A lot of pressure. But I think I'm gonna go with Charlie.
Hey, Phil, stop clapping.
You're welcome.
Let's go.
All right. Why Charlie, and how did he make it this far? I think Charlie is up there for possibly winner. And personally, how did he make it this far?
Has anybody in law made it to the no?
Oh, all right, guys. We have a 25-year-old law student. That's never been done before.
All right, hey, Kara, why Charlie over Liz here?
I think if he finds the right person, that the two of them, or maybe the three of them, they could just be loyal to each other and go all the way to the end. I think he needs that person. I think he'll be a loyal ally.
Wow, 2 Spencer shout outs in one day. I never thought I would get that in my life. Charlie, aka Spencer 2.0. I mean, let's go to Matthew. Matthew, am I coming to you again at the wrong time? What do we think about Charlie here?
I think Charlie is Charlie, and I am excited to see Charlie on Survivor 46.
Everybody take a shot every time Matthew says Charlie in his description of Charlie. Ollie, what are we thinking about Charlie? Because I saw you backing me when I was like, I could see him winning. Why is he still on the board? But you obviously didn't take him, so there was something maybe that you were seeing. Why not Charlie?
Well, I just wanted to pick women.
Oh yeah. We talked about that like 10 minutes ago. Yeah.
No, I did. I did like Charlie. There's the thing of he's a Swiftie, so I do think with the Swiftie like craze that's going on in the world right now, that is an easy connection to get to people, and if he can like write off all of that, perfect.
He was the one that said Taylor Swift.
Yeah, but also, I mean, we all talk about lawyers, but was not 3rd, 4th, and 5th last season all lawyers? So never count a lawyer out. Just don't tell people you're a lawyer, Jake. I didn't mind him. I mean, when it came to the final 2 picks, I would have always picked Charlie. So good luck, Charlie.
I appreciate the Disney Channel shout out there with good luck, Charlie. I hope you were intending to do that. Okay, Phil, we have to talk about Liz here. Mateo, whoa, Liz is last? That's wild. So what are we thinking about Liz here? And do you think she can bring something to the team? She's obviously the last pick here.
I'm trying to wait to see what Phil says. Go ahead, Phil.
Well, might be surprising. I'm not upset about this at all. I'm okay with Liz. Was Liz absolute top of my list? I mean, maybe not. But the truth is, I was actually not too. Out of Charlie and Liz, I'll take Liz. Liz seems great. I think that she has like a really great sort of like energy about her. I loved her interviews. She's like a real frenetic individual. She had a really funny thing to say about her allergies, which I don't necessarily know exactly where to place, but she's a woman who has like a lot of allergies. And so she talked about the fact that she feels it's going to give her an edge on the competition. But and this is the truth. Like, do I think it's going to give her the craziest edge in the competition? No, I don't. But I think it's going to give her about the same amount of edge as Charlie being a long distance runner. Like, when has that ever come to help anyone on Survivor?
If they bring back the challenge in the woods where you have to go memorize stuff, you watch out for Charlie.
Yeah, but that's even that's more about memory than your long distance pacing. I mean, I just don't. I'm not upset. I'll take Liz. I'm happy to have Liz. And I'll say this: I'm someone, especially considering this is my last choice here. I'll take someone who I know is going to deliver decent television at the very least. And I think that Liz will, at the least, deliver decent television, if not great television. So I'll take Liz as my last choice. Come on over, Wilcox.
I won't Phil as my hype man. Because it just made he made you feel warm inside about this whole Liz thing.
I try.
Ollie, before you add on your point, Ollie, I want to go to Kara. Kara, why not Liz? Because you had a choice between Liz and oh my gosh, sorry, Charlie. And we heard Phil say why you didn't want Charlie. Why did you not want Liz? Fire back.
I don't know. I liked his interview, the interview that I watched of him. I liked what he had to say. I thought, I don't know. I just feel like he could go far. Really not much.
Farther.
But I just liked him. I don't know.
Y'all studied up in the school of Matthew, I see.
That was your reasoning.
I was just about to say that was the most Matthew answer. I'm putting that on a T-shirt. I answer like Matthew or something. I'll work on the slogan. Ollie, you had something to add on there about Liz.
Well, Liz is on Survivor 46, and no, I was actually going to talk about Charlie.
I feel bad for Liz.
I'll talk about Liz, Randy, after Ollie's done with Charlie.
I wanted to rebuttal Philip's thing about long distance running.
Yeah.
Technically, knows how endurance works and knows mentally how to get in an endurance state of mind. So that could help him out if he gets to merge. And Liz is on Survivor 46.
Let me help Ollie out real quick. For a week straight, you will do nothing but eat and sit. So you not Brett. You just gonna eat 3 meals. You're gonna sit all day and look around.
Matthew,
for a whole week.
Matthew, wrap it up here with Liz. We got to talk about this final pick a little bit. So I need a little bit more than Kara gave us.
I think for a final pick, well, Phil, you ended up with Liz on your draft team. I think Liz is an excellent person to end up with on your draft team. Here's the thing with Liz and what I see from her. I think one of the articles that I read, they asked all of the castaways, like, what was your biggest risk in your life and what were your greatest accomplishments? And I was so struck by Liz's answer where she talked about her marriage and talked about how hard it was for her to walk away from it, but then realizing it was the best thing that she's ever done. And I think that Liz is going to be in a position to share that story on this season of Survivor. And I think a lot of people are going to want to hear it. So I'm excited to see her progression on the season. I love the thing about, as someone with seasonal allergies, I love it so much. So I think it kind of, I think a big theme this season is going to be about risks and rewards. And I'm really eager to see which players take advantage of their time on the show.
You don't say, Jeff Probst.
And she is on season 46 of Survivor, as are all these castaways that we chatted about tonight. All right, so it's time to wrap up, and to wrap up, I kind of want to show you guys what we have planned for our coverage. This is our sixth, I think, of Survivor US coverage. We are is it fifth? Yeah. 41, 42, 43, 44. No, this is our sixth because we started with 41.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Like this will be our sixth. And I want to tell you guys the schedule coming up. So we are also covering Survivor Australia, Titans versus Rebels. We had an excellent episode today. Matthew was joined with Ollie and Jack. I know someone asked earlier, where's Jack today? Will scared him off. He cannot be here. Don't worry. He's still a great member of the team. Just could not be here tonight. We got a few comments, too, before I get to this. Chrissy, Ollie is an icon. The Fantasy Answer says definitely going to be tuning in. Thank you so much, Fantasy Answer. And then Jay says Survivor Stock Watch. Let's go. So yeah, let's get into these shows. The main recap show, you can catch this every single week with myself and Abraham. This will be Wednesday nights immediately following Survivor. We will go on air, break down the episode. Abraham, really quick, because I know we're ready to wrap this up. What can fans expect from the recap show that you and me, you know, the banter that goes back and forth?
Oh, man, the recap show is the proof in the pudding. You know, there's a vote out. There's a whole 90 minutes this season. A second round of 90 minutes is going to be some great development of Castaways. So it's going to be interesting to see how everybody we picked and we think is going to do different things, to see it all play out this season. We had an excellent season last year. You know, we had some hiccups up front. To us as fans and players, we would have liked to see everybody just play. But, you know, when you get out there on the island, it's for real. So I'm looking forward to see who believes in Survivor when they get out to the island and they start playing this season. It's going to be a great season. Talking to two of the players that played in 46. In LA, I think we're going to be in for a better season than 45.
Oh, woo, calling the shot. Not only that, but we have Survivor Social, which is going to be airing Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Kara, I know you and Tegwa still have to meet, prepare for what you're going to be doing this season of Survivor Social, but just give us a taste. What are you excited about, you know, talking about Survivor now that, you know, this is, I believe you told me this is relatively new to you. You're kind of a newer Survivor fan, but you went back, binged the seasons. What can fans expect, and what are you excited for this season?
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about the episodes, talk about the show. I'm excited to talk with Tegwith because she's very knowledgeable. I love seeing her posts and everything, so I think it's going to be great talking with her about it and just recapping everything. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Let me just speak for everyone, Kara. We are so excited to have you as part of the team moving forward and can't wait. Survivor Social is always an amazing show. That is one that you can catch on Tegwith's TikTok as well. They really want to bring the social aspect out, and they like to discuss the social aspects of the game. All right, and then we have Survivor Stock Watch, which will be airing Fridays at, Will, what's the time on Fridays?
I think 2 p.m. is right now the working date. I will double check with Jack, but we are 99% sure. Survivor Stock Watch, you get a lot of banter between me and Jack. I think we're both really funny. We clash a lot. In terms of the podcast itself, we really talk about the edit. We talk about Edgic. We talk about why some things are important. It's very nerdy, and I'm hoping that this season of Stock Watch will be the best. You know, we might have some new faces pop in and out. I'll have to double check and, you know, talk to Jack and Randy and the whole gang about it. But thank you, Chris Dixon. I agree.
I can't do that. I can't do that, Chris. But yeah, I mean, I'll say Will
Sorry,
had the
Chris, you spelled Phil wrong.
All you had to do is copy it from the screen.
Will, I will say he came up with a brilliant idea to reach out to Peridium and Russell Muscle TV and try to get, you know, some people who really analyze, break down the episodes. And that's what we're aiming to do this season, get more guests to break down. It's really a great show. These guys, I love the work that they put in. I'm giving you a shout out, Will, here. They put in the time making graphs, looking at the Edgic. They do all the stuff that some of us want to hear, but we don't want to do the research and look all that stuff up. And that's where they come in. So it's a great show. And then finally, we have, it's not called Got a Premiere for you, but it's something I did. It's got something for you. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we stick to that. We haven't chatted about that yet. I thought maybe
like it.
Episode titles. So, but Ollie, Matthew, and Phil, we got the entire crew here. So if all of you want to chime in, what can fans expect for season 2 of Got Something For You?
Oh my God. So season 1 was incredible. We had so much fun interacting with all of you in our live chat each week. You go to the recaps to get like your initial reactions to the episode out, but then you come to Got Something For You for an in-depth look into where we think the story is going to go. And this year, we're doing something really fun. We're going to be paying extra close attention to the social media posts from the castaways this season to see if they have any tea that is worth sharing that will influence how we view the season moving forward. So really excited about that.
And you guys can catch Survivor Stockwatch, I believe, 3 p.m. on Saturdays is the time that
So got something for you.
Wait, oh, did I say Stockwatch?
Something for you, Randy.
I made
Official.
one mistake. One mistake in an hour and
outta
45 minutes. Ollie, Phil, anything to add here before we sign off on Got Something For You?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, it's a blast. Come on over, have fun with the three of us. It's just one giant party. We got something for you, so come, see what it is.
And I was pausing to see if Ollie said anything.
Yeah.
Ollie, you really left me hanging. That was that was worse than a Matthew response. I'll just
That was
say
so
right
sad.
I was waiting for Ollie too. Don't worry.
Yeah, you you set him up.
Yeah,
Chris-
I gave him the Ollie oop there.
Do you know what? I did that just for Randy.
Ollie oop. That's okay. Hold on. He said Ollie oop. That deserves some praise.
Thank you.
Anyways, Ollie, drive us home here.
Oh, why'd you make me drive? Why? I can't drive. No, honestly, got something for you. We always have fun. We will always talk about our theories with Survivor and where it's going to go. Like I said at the beginning, we're normally 90% wrong, but we have a good time anyway.
Mhm.
And we will listen to what the fans say. And it is always a good old time, no matter what you're watching on Survivor now, to be fair.
If you enjoyed this most chaotic episode of Survivor Now, I think we've ever had, and I mean, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We really do appreciate every single person who tunes in. Thank you guys. It makes this 10 times better for us to just come on here and chat about our favorite show. You can check out all of our coverage of U.S. Survivor and International Survivor on our website. Check it out, survivornowpodcast.com. Head over to our Instagram at Survivor Now Podcast. Phil, I know you went like this. I thought you flipped me off for a second. I was like, whoa.
No.
I was like, am I going to have to edit this nearly 2-hour show and like blur that out at the end there? I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you guys for sticking around. It is going to be an incredible season. Don't forget to check out. You can check out all the full teams on Instagram later this evening after the graphic has been made. And we will see you guys all next week for Survivor 46. Have a good one.
Hey, there we go.